Today, we are going to talk about how to reach that Gen X or maybe the baby boomers on social media, either Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We can give you some tips on that.
Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of Tip for Tip, where you ask your marketing questions in exchange for a tip in your industry. My name is Aaron.
And my name is Christian. And today we have Christopher Ellis. He's actually the entrepreneur. He founded the company Procuments, and now he's working with Temping. Christopher, let's hear your question.
Hey Aaron, hey Christian. My question for you was, for industries that target demographics that are slightly older or may be less likely or inclined to use LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, what approach or what suggestions do you have to still reach that audience, perhaps in a way that's most effective for an older demographic?
My suggestion for you and your company will be to really know your audience. And I'm guessing you're looking for or to reach, when we talk about older demographic, you're talking about Gen Xers and baby boomers, which is approximately from 36 years old all the way to 65. And this demographic is very active on Facebook. So I would definitely, like I said, just know your audience, know where they're at, and go to those channels. You're not going to target Gen Xers and baby boomers on Twitter or Instagram, although there may be some of them in there. The larger percentage are going to be on Facebook, and they're more active on that social media on Facebook. So your best bet is to go to Facebook and figure out a strategy to really attract those people. Make it simple, okay? You want to make it clear, no gimmicky letters, text, images. Make it clear, make it simple. A very good example of this is the way Apple does their advertising and everything that they do. It's just clear, concise, to the point. There's no
Fluff.
There's no fluff in their marketing.
Yeah. All right, and so this was difficult only because the term you used was older. So we are going to assume that it is the Gen X, baby boomer area. And like Christian said, a lot of them are on Facebook. Actually, that's probably the biggest platform that they're hanging out on, spending their time. But another area that it actually takes us away from digital marketing, because although I know my grandma is very active on Facebook and she falls into this demographic, she also is a very small percentage of people who still read micro-targeted magazines. So I would say that would be a really good avenue, is not to get in those, the ones that send out to everyone and it's a blast, but a community one that's very micro-targeted to their area. The older generations still read those, and they are, I still think, a vitalizing business, because they are very niche and people want to know about their community. So I think that would be a good route. And then the second one would be to just test. That is the most important thing. Test it. I would run an ad targeting 50 to 60 year olds, 60 to 70 year olds, 65 and up rather, and then do it by female and male and break it down like that. Run a different campaign for each one of them and figure out, is your audience on there? It's kind of like Christian was saying, figuring out where they're at and knowing your audience. I hope that is helpful for you, but let's hear your tip for us.
I guess my tip would be asking for feedback from your customers. Too often you expect or hope that your customers will tell you if you're doing something right or tell you if you're doing something wrong. But I've found that every time I ask my customers directly for advice or feedback, more often than not, they're willing to provide it and they're willing to give me their suggestions and 2 cents. But it isn't until I ask for it that people tend to open up. For the longest time, I spent time just hoping and waiting for people to let me know if they liked what I was offering. But once I started asking, you really do realize that people are happy to help, and that feedback is one of the most valuable pieces of information you can get as a small business owner. So don't be afraid to ask. Ask, ask, ask. Get that feedback, and then use it to actually build something. Improve. Take that valuable feedback and make the most of it.
Asking for feedback from your customers. I think that's, it doesn't get any simpler or better than that. And it's very true. People are willing to help you out as a company, help us out if we just ask, ask for that feedback. And I think a better way to do it is like if you're talking to them one-on-one, that's like you get immediate feedback right there and then. You could do it by email or text, but again, you don't get that personal feeling or that direct impact that you would as we were talking one-on-one to someone.
Right. And I think, you could do it over a phone call, but just as soon as you gave that tip, I was thinking, a 2 or 3 question survey on SurveyMonkey, since they're free, and sending them out to clients just to get a general feedback so you know where to start, because sometimes people aren't able to go and meet with their customers, but just getting feedback in that way is really valuable. So I know that's something that we need to do as well.
Making it simple too.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
13-page SurveyMonkey.
Right. I'm thinking like 3 questions max. All right. Christopher, thank you for coming on the show. He didn't give an introduction, but we are going to put a bio and more information about Christopher. He has a lot of cool projects going on right now for you guys to check out. We'll put in the description, as well as all of his websites and links so you can find out more about him. And if you are a small business owner, we would love to have you on the show. You just go to bitbraining.co/tip for tip, fill out a submission form. One of us will respond back to you, and we'll schedule a date for you to get on the show. It is that simple. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes of your time, and we would truly appreciate it. One last thing is that we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We had a previous one that we are now converting over to our BitBranding business page YouTube account, and we'll put the link for that in there as well, so you can go and subscribe and watch our other shows that are out there besides just Tip for Tip.
Right, some good stuff out there.
Yes. All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.